I went on my walk this morning. I actually decided last night that I was going to go walking at a certain time of the month. I slow down my exercise routine from weight training and heavy cardio to walk, and I'm so grateful for that. If you have been rocking with me for a while, whether it's through the podcast or other platforms, you know that I have said, and this is so true, I love nature. I love to walk, and I am grateful for that. Like the old folks used to say, now I think I'm seasoned, like the seasoned saints used to say, and now I'm a seasoned saint. Yes. Oh, that's okay. Maturing saint. Anywho, like they say, right? I thank God for the activities of my limbs, and I truly am thankful that I can walk. I have eyes to see, ears to hear, and I can take in God's beauty, especially this time of the year. Because when I say the leaves on the trees are so beautiful, I saw colors of red and yellow, a few green here and there, brown as they were falling from the tree and the crunch on the ground. I love it. I love because where I live, there are quite a few trees. So whether I'm walking or I'm driving, I love that I can just see the beauty, see God's beauty in nature. It is everything. It is everything to me. It makes my heart glad and my eyes just sparkle with wonder and gratitude to God for how He has painted our earth and the responsibility we have, right, to care for it so that it can continue to shine and be beautiful and something and things that we can enjoy. So, on my walk this morning, I am intentional about getting out at a certain time because I live right by a school and I don't want to be in the school traffic with the buses and carpool, right? I want to be away from that and be safe and continue on my merry way. And so I was coming back closer to home and I had a decision to make because it was 8:30 and that's when school starts. So I knew that the carpool was still carpooling, the buses were still around, and some buses after they drop off the students will park on the side of the street because they're waiting for their next run. You know, they're taking a pause, which is wise. And so I know the cross guard, and so if I walked a certain way, I would have spoken to her, and she would have, I would have had to wait until, being able to cross that street because the traffic coming in to drop students off and the traffic leaving after dropping their student off. And so I really didn't, I didn't, I was like, I don't want to go that way. And so I had a decision to make. And I thought, okay, and I really don't like to go back the same exact way. I like to go a different way back, right? I don't want to do the same, if you get what I'm saying. I don't want to do the same route. I don't want to take the same route coming back as I did going. I like to see different things, right? Even though the route that I walk, I'm going to see some of the same things, right? Unless there's new people outside or people that I haven't seen in a while. So anyway, I thought, oh, I can cut through the park. I'll just cut through the park. And so I did that. And I'm going somewhere with this because I am talking about the gift of stillness as you go. And so there was an invitation, and I didn't even know this waiting on me. So I walked through the park, and there is a spray ground or a splash ground to the left of the playground. I mean, right, it's really all right there together. There's a spray ground, and then to the right of that is a playground with a slide and other playground equipment and a swing set. And I remember taking Kyla when she was a little girl to the spray ground, to the swings. Um, and I think, was she? I'm trying to remember if when they renovated that area, if that was before she was born. But anywho, when she was a little girl, I would take her. So it's always so sweet to walk through that way. And when I was a little girl, I would walk that way through the park. And so at the spray ground, of course, the spray ground is turned off because of the season we're in. There was a big piece of chalk that had never been used. And I was like, actually, and I didn't even think too long about it. I was just like, wow, there's a piece of chalk. And that was invitation to pick it up and write a message, to pick up the writing utensil and write a message. And so I paused and I did that. I was so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh. I picked up the chalk and thought, what message do I want to write? Because I have a message to share. And so the message was, and I actually posted in my stories today, and maybe I will post it along with this podcast episode, social media posting. I wrote, you are dearly loved. And I knew I had to draw a heart. So I did a big exclamation point and a big heart underneath that as the point in the exclamation point because I know that I am dearly loved. So it was a reminder to me, but not only a reminder to me, it was a reminder to anyone, whether it was a kid, an adult, whoever walked past, for them to take a pause and see this message and know that they are dearly loved. So for me, going a different route on my walk was stillness on the go. It was an invitation to slow down. I mentioned, paying attention to the trees on my walk, taking my surroundings, and then do something. And for me, that was still in the stillness. It was stillness as I was going. It was considering my surroundings and considering God's presence and His playfulness with me, taking me back to really being childlike, picking up a piece of chalk and writing on the ground. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that invitation. I invite you to pause as you go about your day today. The pause is an invitation to see God, to see God in nature, to see God in the face of your daughter, to see God in the playfulness of your son, to see God in the strength of your spouse or significant other, your hubby, your husband, or your boyfriend, your boo, right? Or the sound from your mother's voice, or even the memories that you carry, or just the quiet where there's really nothing happening, but there are things happening in the spirit, in your heart, from God's heart to yours. Yeah, so even when nothing seems like it's happening or seems to be happening, slowing down can open your eyes to the everyday blessings, what we may consider to be small blessings, like seeing a piece of chalk at the spur ground and an invitation to pick up that chalk that had never been used, right? And scoop down or squat down and write a message for me and for others and for you that you are dearly loved. And I believe when we are intentional about slowing down, we can receive that love, right? We can receive that love because sometimes that love shows up a lot of times in the stillness. So good. So good. I believe stillness is where gratitude deepens because your mind's not running 100 miles an hour, right? You get to wander and wonder with God. Graham Cook said this in his amazing teachings on the practice of rest. He said, there's times when you're praying and your mind begins to wander. And you're like, how did I even get to over there, right? Like, how did my brain even get to those thoughts? And sometimes you may feel like, man, or you're condemning yourself or you're frustrated because that wasn't the intent of your time with God, the intent of the prayer. You want to be focused on your prayer points, right? And your prayer request list and the things that are present in your heart that are very, very, very important. He said something so transformational to me. He said, it's okay. Like God walks with you even in the wandering. He'll just bring you back. Isn't that good? So, sis, you have permission to be still. And if your mind does wander, know that God is with you in the wandering and allow Him to hold your hand and bring you right back. That's the gift of stillness, even as you go, because it's a reminder that God's with you in the go and in the still. Be still, relax, and know, consider that He is God. And that's Psalm 46:10. And I'm looking over here because I have it on a card that a dear friend gave me some prayer cards. Yes, there it is. Still in Greek means to relax, and know in, I'm sorry, Hebrew, both words in Hebrew means to consider. So good. I love you, sis. And I pray that on today that you enjoy the quiet moments, that you enjoy the stillness, because I'm telling you, God enjoys those times with you too. Until next time, peace.